From start to finish, an aquascape to come to its real shape, the plants to grow to its real size and the way you want it will take maybe about 6 months. You can do it faster, but 6 months is a good time. How do you know at the point of starting that 6 months later this is how your plants will grow, or this is how your aquascape will turn out to be? There is a very simple answer to this. Okay, it's a one-word answer: observation. Now, before you start an aquascape, you need to learn to observe. You need to learn to observe how plants will grow. What will they do? How will they react? If you place them in a particular place, will they grow to the left? Will they grow to the right? How do you know these things? Finally, what color will it get? Will it get the color you want? Now, let's say you're using a runner like Echinodorus tenellus or something. It will grow wild. So how will you set it in that barrier of your aquascape and make it only in that place and not grow more than that? See, this is one aspect. The other thing is, because we're still talking about concept and theme and story, observation helps you create your final image of what you want as an aquascape that you want to compete with. In the dictionary, there may be whatever meaning for the word observation, but in my mind, observation is the difference between seeing, looking, and observing. I can see something. I can look at something. When I look at that, I can feel something because I've observed something that is connecting with me. There is a huge difference. It's not difficult to understand. When you look at a scenery, when you look at a place, when you look at something, you should feel connected. That is observation. What are the things that you need to observe? Primarily, you need to observe nature. Observing nature gives you a clear-cut idea of, a final image of your aquascape. A certain place in nature, a certain position in nature. Something that is, set right. Yes, this is good. I'm feeling good about it. This is the image I want to create. Also, importantly, the image or the imagination or that final picture that you have in mind cannot be so complicated that you cannot recreate it. It has to be achievable. It cannot be, creatively complex. It cannot be like that. It should look complex, but easy to achieve. So, finalizing on that look of what my aquascape will be or what I will create is what we are going to discuss today. Last two classes, we have discussed what is an aquascape, and the second class we discussed about the concept, the theme, the story, and so on and so forth. Today we are going to understand the importance of observation to help you decide on what your aquascape will be. Now, I gave you a little bit of homework last week, and of course, we've discussed that in our Saturday Zoom class also. Now, it's very interesting and very important that you start observing small things. Interesting because you see things that you normally don't see. Importance because that is what is going to become the highlight of your aquarium or aquascape. See, in nature, when you look at this image, you will realize that certain kind of plants will grow in a certain kind of area. Some basic guidelines. All plants need light to grow. Some plants are capable of growing in a shaded area or a lower light area. But if the area is densely shaded, then there will be no plants in the bottom and all the plants will be like tall trees which are getting the sun as from the canopy. But in the bottom, you will not see anything. Now, these are basic aspects that you have to understand and observe. How is my scape going to look? And will there be shadows below the scape? If there is a stone overhang like this, will there be a shadow? Or where will the shadow be? Depending on where your light is. Ideally, in an aquascape, the light is in the center on top. So the shadow will always fall downwards. So below that, what plant can I put or what will I do there? This observation can come from other aquascapes. You see a lot of different aquascapes. Ideally, check out all the top winners in the last 10 years, top 3 winners. You can go and see it on IAPLC, the website. The detail is here. You can have a look and see, okay, this is what I'm interested in. This is what I'm capable of doing. This looks very good for me. Yes, I can manage this. And then you end up, start working towards that. Now, in an imagination, where is the observation? Don't worry, it's not complicated. Now, you have imagined a certain look and feel. The observation is what you have done in nature, and you place or you use that understanding that you've got from nature into your imagination. And okay, this is somewhat what I want to achieve. Now, the important point here is you have a certain observation. This is what I want to do. You've created a certain theme or concept around it, or you have an imagination and you have used your observations and you've created a theme and story around it, and you want to achieve something. See if you can put that on paper. See if you can draw it out. Very important. Because if you can put that on paper, even if it's a bad drawing, you don't have to be a great artist, even if it's a bad drawing, but in your mind, okay, this is what it's going to look like, or this is what it's going to be. And then start figuring out, okay, from my observation, this is the kind of plant that can grow here. Okay, which plant is this? Which plant is this? What can grow on the wood? Will this particular leaf good? Is it sitting and fitting my Is it fitting my aquascape? Is it fitting my imagination? All these aspects come from observation. When you observe how plants grow, you will realize that this is what I'm going to start with, like a TC cup. I'm going to start with a tissue culture cup of plant, and in 6 months, this is how it is going to look. That transition, because you have already observed it in previous tanks and stuff like that. You have already gone through it in your previous, aquascapes or planted aquariums or whatever it is. So this is kind of the crux of the matter, everything comes back to your ability to observe different aspects of an aquascape, from nature, from other aquascapes, from other ideas, from other designs. Now, these are few aquascapes that look out of the world, exotic, maybe it is possible or not to have something like this in nature. Or, maybe like this kind of place is not there, but it's in somebody's imagination. So, how do you achieve this? And what will suit this kind of an aquascape? The key is your observation in growing plants. See, because the key thing is the plant and your hardscape. Once you consider the hardscape, then again your observation and learning comes from what other people have done, or how do they do it? How do they stick one stone to another? How do they place this? This all comes by watching, observing other people and how they work, learning new ideas. It all falls under that simple word of observation. If you can observe and see minute things, finer details, then that will help you set your own aquascape. Observation is probably one of the biggest strengths or magical power, if you call it, that a human being has. You can observe a million things. You can sit in a crowded place and observe how people react to small things, how behaviors change. If you're sitting in a mall and in front of you there is a beautiful ice cream shop, and 10 or 20 people are crossing, each person's reaction to that ice cream shop will be different. This is exactly the way in nature. The same scenario, the same location, the same jungle, the same forest will start looking different patch to patch. And there is always something unique. In a place where you think there is nothing, actually there is a hell of a lot of stuff that you have missed. You have not observed. There is beauty even in a desert. And when you can observe these things, like the beauty of every single thing, then your aquascape starts becoming more and more beautiful. What is it that you need to be sure about and say, this is what I'm going to achieve? So if you have a strong sense of observation that helps you understand and learn the right ideas, the right methods, the right processes, the right planning, then you are able to achieve something unique. It's as simple as that. You have to constantly learn to observe, because just by observing other people's work, nature, you start gathering so much information. You start understanding so many small things. Just the placement of one stick from here to here in an aquascape changes the way it looks. I'll give you an idea. Suppose you are making an aquascape that has a path in between, Have you ever seen a 100% straight line 90-degree path in an aquascape? Straight. Many aquascapes you will see it. But those aquascapes never win. Because in nature, there is nothing that is in a straight line. There is nothing that is in 90 degrees. It's always, easy flow, or there is a curve, or there is a movement, there is a zigzag. And again, it is not sharp. It's always easy flowing. Whether it's a river, whether it's a path. Go back, you must have gone trekking somewhere. You must have gone somewhere to, enjoy nature, have fun on the weekend with the family. Observe these small things. When you're walking on a small mud path, see how the stones have fallen on it. See where those small shrubs are growing. These are finer points or fine details that I'm talking about. When you see a large, big tree, and let's assume that there is a small river and there is a tree that is drooping into the river, almost, bending into the river. Okay, this is an imagination. Or so if you take a path and that whole tree is bending, then what will be growing around that tree? If that tree is a coconut tree, then there will be separate, different kind of plants. If it is another tree, some other tree, then there will be different kind of plants. Why? These are points of observation. Why is it that certain kind of plants grow half in water, half outside? What is the difference between a carpet plant and why is it called a carpet plant? Is it a stem plant? Is it a rosette? What is it? Plant is a plant. It has a root, it has a stem, it has leaves. Why is it that in nature, a carpet plant grows to the edge of the river where there is less water, but in an aquascape, we grow it in the bottom portion where there is more water or most amount of water? These are things you need to observe and learn. When your sense of observation is strong, then a small piece of wood, a small piece of stone, or a bunch of stones and a large piece of wood, or the combination of both, or just the wood or just the stone, they all, when you put them together, they all start making sense. They start, like a puzzle or a jigsaw puzzle, they start fitting into those places where, oh yes, this is what I wanted. But that has to start with you. If you are not sure that this is what I want from my understanding, from my imagination, from my observation, from my learning, then you will constantly be in doubt as to whether what you're creating is right or wrong. As we go on, there will be some minor changes, but the basic theme or the basic concept that we started with cannot change. If you start your aquascape to be a jungle setting, by the time you come to the competition, you cannot have a desert setting. It doesn't make sense. So you need to be very clear on what you want to go forward with and use your ability to observe. Now, when you put these observations into some kind of understanding in your own way, you start realizing, oh, okay, this is not as difficult as I thought. It's actually pretty simple. So the take home from this video is going to be that you start observing and you create an image of what you want to create and why. To the last detail. Ideally, you should have a picture ready in front of you. If you're not somebody who can draw, no problem. Take a cardboard box and arrange pieces of wood and stone like a model. Do that if you want. But try to have a picture of what you want to create. Now, that also is your homework. This picture has to be part of you. It has to have a strong connect with you. There should be a nice story behind it. Immaterial of what? There should be a reason for why that story is logical or sensible to you. It doesn't have to make sense to others. The theme or the concept has to be strong if there is no solid story. When you can set this and, or put that imagination or put that whole idea on paper, that is your first step into starting a competition level aquascape. Of course, as always, this Saturday also we'll have a discussion on this video. Importantly, you need to complete this homework. Finalize on your design so that next class we can actually understand what the design means. Okay, we'll see those designs on Saturday, of course. And in our next class, we'll make sense of those designs and what you should procure, what product you should do. And first and foremost thing, the size of tank or the space is what we will discuss in our next class. So I'll see you in the next class. Bye. Keep observing.